Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, well, the live stream has officially ended. It was a fairly quick one, but we actually got the info that we needed, and I mean, we now know what the dupes are, so they did well this time round introducing the new character, as well as the Phoenix bow. So I'm just going to go over the character, we're going to go over the weapon, give our initial thoughts, what we're looking like on paper, on whether or not if it's going to be worth the pull. I'm ready to talk about the Phoenix bow, that's all I'm going to say, of course. But just a little bit of gameplay so you guys can see on what it's looking like. I'm going to get this out of the way. It has been confirmed she is no longer a breaker. So the breakage side of her is completely been gone. She is no longer a breaker. She is a ranged mage DPS. That is her role. So pretty interesting, not to say the least. Fairly interesting, but that's what they've decided to do. So you know, we'll have to get our hands on her to see, and also cater to the defense penetration. She is heavy on the defense pen, which, I mean, technically speaking, we kind of knew ahead of time, but I believe there's a part of her where she actually scales off from her defense penetration, which I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah, as long as we got defense pens in the substats and the boots having the main stat of a defense pen, we should be a-okay, and then from that point on, it's going to be attack and damage increase to cater to. So there's that. There we go. Bro, that costume, bro, that's an instant cop on my end, that's all I'm trying to say. Alright, so when she uses her QTE skill, it grants Spotlight effect to herself for a certain period of time, increasing her damage in proportion to her defense penetration. So the Spotlight buff, basically, it's to buff up the offensiveness or the damage output for SOONHYUN, of course, and so it scales off from her defense penetration. I don't know how I feel about that. So we really have to cater to the defense pen to get the most out of the Spotlight effect. So yeah, proportion to her defense penetration stat, and her damage increases even more when attacking a target over a certain distance. That distance is 5 meters. So as long as you're keeping that length apart, then yeah, you'll be maximizing the damage output. So there's that. And then when she uses her QTE and ultimate skill, SOONHYUN assists in battle by... Oh yeah, so the support skill, she basically gives Jinwoo the Spotlight effect. Okay, so when using basic skill 1, the user somersaults backwards, steps back, and attacks the enemy by firing a large caliber bullet to the front. When the skill hits, it applies the stun effect to the target for a certain period of time. When using basic skill 2, the user sits in place and quickly fires 2 consecutive rounds. The user then gathers energy and attacks the enemy by firing an additional round. And that's pretty much that. And so again, there's the animation for the Spotlight. That's how you know when you got the effect going on. I mean, it's kind of easy to tell, of course. But that's basically the skills. So kind of stays in place and just kind of fires the rounds. When the user uses their ultimate skill, magic firearms are deployed around the user to attack the enemies all at once. After magic firearms appear around YOOSHARPFAM and automatically identify and attack nearby enemies for a certain period of time. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, yeah, I'm a fan of this. It's kind of like moving droids just kind of around you. So the weapon being called Overdrive increases her core attack, her defense pen, and 2 of her skills. So that's basically what this weapon does. So I mean, it's going to be extremely effective and what we need. So when firing swarm is used, grants the Spotlight effect. So this is her passive now. So grants 1.3 defense penetration effect, increases damage increase stat equal to the defense pen stat, increases damage dealt to targets outside of the 5 meter range by 20 seconds. So that's effectively what the Spotlight effect is applying, of course. So furthermore, going into the dupes now. So resets cooldown when kill shot hits a target outside of the 5 meter range. I don't know, yeah, that's a bit of a typo in there, and it's 5 meters. Cooldown 18 seconds. When kill shot hits, activates the user's core attack and increases the core attack damage by a certain amount for a certain amount of seconds. Yeah, yeah, these test builds account, bro, it's kind of cracked, of course. Defense pen increase on A2. When firing swarm hits outside of the 5 meter range, grants a defense penetration effect and increases the damage of kill shot by, I can't remember what, I think he said 30% if I can remember correctly. I think 30%. Increases the user's defense penetration by 18% for 18 seconds. So that's pretty much A3. Bro, getting it to A3, you're really just kind of maximizing it now in terms of damage output. At first, I thought that's kind of where they were going to leave it at, and then heading over to A4, she gets an attack increase, and then A5, when the spotlight effect is applied, increases the user's damage by a certain amount, as it's not specified. But realistically, yeah, A3 is in my eyes kind of where you want to get it at if you want to kind of maximize the damage output through well, one, gaining all the defense pen increase that will then benefit for her spotlight effect, and then two, yeah, the kill shot to the core attack, all that damage increase will be absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, that's basically that's how she's working. So she's not a breaker, she's a ranged mage DPS character, working off from the defense pen, damage increase. I do think that she's going to hold a ton of value purely because of the range play that she can apply, and then of course the droids. Yeah, I think the only issue that some might have is with Choi, right? I mean, right now Choi, he is soon to be buffed. We're kind of waiting on confirmation of what buffs he'll be having. So the reality is that, I mean, if you choose to skip, I feel like you can comfortably do so. And then of course obtain her through the custom draw banner if you choose to, unless you want to go for the initial copy. I think that's completely suitable, because then at that point realistically it's just going to be the spotlight effect for Jinwoo that you can cater to, and then utilize her in a sub DPS form if you choose to, if you want to run Choi as a main DPS, which I think will be perfectly fine if that is the case. But I think A1, if you are considering going for dupes, A3 is kind of like maximizing it all. A1 is just the halfway mark in my eyes. So that's kind of what I'm looking at if you are choosing to pull for her and summon for her. And now we have the Phoenix Soul Bow, the fire weapon. So when Phoenix Rapid Fire is used, it inflicts the Firebird Soul effect every 3rd, 6th, 9th arrow. When the 3rd attack of the basic attack hits, inflicts the Firebird Soul effect. I just want to confirm that for the most part they've actually kept this weapon the exact same. They've just made it so that damage wise this weapon does damage, and let me tell you that this might be like top 3 hands down. So when the user's core attack changes to flame shot, the flame shot damage goes up by 80% per Firebird Soul instances, stacking up to 3 times. So that's a 240. That's a straight up 240% increase for that flame shot. And then of course you will then consume all the Firebird Soul, of course. So that's straight off the bat on what this bow is bringing to the table. So the initial copy is just chef's kiss. Want it, need it, I got to get it. And then if we go furthermore on, so the first dupe fills the core gauge by 34% every 3rd, 6th and 9th arrow of the Phoenix Rapid Fire. Beautiful. Fire increase on A2. On A3, the last arrow of Phoenix Rapid Fire grants 2 instances of Firebird Soul effect. Increases the max instance of Firebird Soul effect to 4 instances. Yeah, that's 320 now. 240? Now we're at 320. Realistically, A3 is kind of where I want to personally get it at in terms of maximizing. But I'm going to keep it real and say, if RNG is on my side, A5 is where I want to get it at. Because after obtaining Firebird Soul by using Phoenix Rapid Fire or Basic Attack, the user gains the consumed Firebird Soul instances and 100% of their core gauge upon using Flame Shot. At 1, 2, 3 instances, obtain 1 instance of Firebird Soul. At 4 instances, obtain 2 instances of Firebird Soul. Basically, at A5, you are going to be just dropping bombs back to back. Like, you're going to be dropping big numbers back to back. That's what this is allowing you to do. It is ridiculous. A5 Phoenix Bow 100% will probably outdo a lot of weapons that we have currently in the game. Damage wise, A5 ridiculous. Again, I'm going to hope and pray that I can get it to A3 at the very least, but the weapon on its own with no dupes, probably the best fire weapon in the game. I'm just saying. The damage output and catering to the core meta, of course, by applying Tusk and whatnot. Oh, we can furthermore make this weapon an even more of a beast. Also, as you guys know, the summer event, it's up and coming, and so there is going to be a bit of a login, which is fantastic. So I mean, good rewards. So you get a free weapon, beautiful. You get a nice little heroic ruin and a blessing, so that's nice. And then if you guys wanted to know the code, it is YOOSHARPFAM. YOOSHARPFAM. There you go. So that's the brand new code. These other codes I've already done a video on, but the newest code is the one right here, of course. So what else we got? Oh, there we go. We got some costumes coming in here. Oh, we got more costumes. Oh, this is an alternative costume. Oh, wow. Oh my god, Libora. Yes, I will gladly take this. Thank you very much. So these are probably going to be through the secret library in the Hunter archive. So this is an alternative version of it. Okay, interesting. Cool. Well, more costumes, and they're all girls. Alright, Hunter Archive, new stories and secret library. The original stories of YOOSHARPFAM and Yunho will be added in the Hunter Archive. The secret library of YOOSHARPFAM will be added. Secret library, the content is unlocked after completing all Hunter Archive stories. When clearing secret library stories, you can collect the corresponding Hunter secret library points, obtain progress rewards based on the accumulated points, or amount of points, sorry. If you clear each secret library using designated hunter for the point bonus, you can gain additional secret library progression points. Cool. So I assume by gaining the points we can go into the store and trade it in for costumes, I want to say. SR weapons will be added. Oh wait, so they're not adding all of them? They're only adding certain few? Interesting. Okay. Oh god, I'm looking through them all. Okay, Nam I can work on. Kim I can work on. And that will probably be it, to be honest. Okay, oh damn, so yeah, they're keeping some. SR Hunter exclusive weapons crafting material source. Mana rock can be crafted using the corresponding attribute melding cubes in the crafting menu. SR Hunter exclusive weapon design can be obtained through the weapon materials exchange shop and content play. Oh, okay, so so SR weapons are going to have their own exclusive materials to craft SR weapons. Thank God, that's actually huge. That way we don't have to use our SSR weapon resources. This makes it even better. Lovely, I'll take that. Alicia and the Phoenix Bow will be added into the custom draw. Special summoned lineup. So Alicia, Cheyenne, Beast, Choi will be added into the summer lineup. The SSR Jinwoo weapons, Scatty Pistol and the Moon Shadow daggers will also be in the lineup. A support system for acquiring SSRs which accumulates based on the number of special summons will be added. Okay, so this just confirms that now with the special summon it does hold a ton of value, because all the newest up-to-date characters for the custom draw banner, excluding the new weapon, are going to be in here. And after a certain amount of multis that you do, you're guaranteed to get at least 2 SSRs with 1 multi. Damn. Okay, that's crazy. The gems are now going to be providing us with even more stats all across the board. Damn. Hey, I ain't complaining. We'll gladly take it. Hopefully you guys have been saving your gems and your well, not your gems, but well, yeah, your gems and the materials to craft, because now it's kind of worth going in since they're buffed up all the rates. Fantastic.